Hi there. Um, you know, I'm here today because I almost canceled because this is what COVID looks like after, or this is what I look like with COVID after 10, 12 days of COVID. And and then I thought, everything that I talk about, everything I reflect about is how to learn to love yourself no matter what. And boy, has this been a week of no matter what's. So let me back up. Um, I took a friend of mine to brunch 2 weeks ago today. And I have been very rigorous about my protocols for COVID. I didn't go out for a couple of years. I started going out recently. Um, I mask. I make sure everything is socially distant, the whole nine yards. I've been very cautious. Part of it is because I have lipedema and I have lymphedema and I struggle with my weight. And all of that leaves me at greater risk for COVID. So I've been extremely careful. And to make a long story much, much shorter, the bottom line is we went to the Cheesecake Factory because she said she wanted to go to the Cheesecake Factory. So I said, fine, wherever you want to go. It's your birthday. Um, and it was not a good experience at all. There were lots of things. And one of the things as we were sitting waiting was the realization that nobody was wearing masks. I couldn't understand it. Why are people not wearing masks? So anyway, it's a restaurant. I took my mask off to eat, and I went, along my way. And by Wednesday, I was sick, and so it only took a couple of days of incubation. So, message number one: trust yourself. I mean, I don't know why in the moment in the restaurant, in the lobby, and I'm thinking, why am I the only one with the mask? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, there were a couple of servers that had masks on, but the people were coming in and out without masks. I'm like, oh my God, should I know something? Trust yourself. My inner instinct was to wear a mask even though everybody else wasn't. And I didn't follow my guts. Didn't. So that's lesson number one. Lesson number two for me is to trust my body. I started to get sick, I'm so trust my gut, my inner sense, and trust my body. Could feel. Um, so I did a home test. I did my home test on Wednesday, and it came positive. And I'm like, so I immediately went into denial and started to comb the internet for ways to say, oh, it's a false positive. There are lots of false positives. So I call the hospital and my primary care, and they can't get me in until Friday. So that's Wednesday to Friday. And COVID is continuing to grow, even though I'm in denial about it. And the reason I tell you is point number three. So trust your body. My body was telling me something was wrong, something was seriously wrong. So by Friday, I went to my primary care and they did the test, and the test came back positive. But let me tell you, so the way that they do it, I love my primary care, always wonderful people. Anyway, they have a spot in the parking lot, doctor's office building, and they have a spot in the parking lot. And so you park in that spot, you let them know you're there, and they send a tech down and they take the test. They do the swab thing. And so I said to her, well, we did the swab thing. And she said, I said, how long before you'll give me a call. She said, half hour, maybe 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Don't worry, we'll get in touch with you. At which point I drove down the block to the CVS so that I could get some, cold and flu stuff because I'm thinking at that point maybe it's a flu. And and my phone rings while I'm in CVS. And I look down and it's the primary care's office. And I said, "Oh my God, for them to call me less than 5 minutes, it means it's positive." So I went immediately into the parking lot. I'm masked all this time, by the way. I get into the parking lot, and sure enough, it was positive. And they had me set up with a telemedicine appointment with the primary care right away. And she recommended this. I want everybody to know that there is a new medication. It's called Paxlovid by Pfizer. It saved my life. So I essentially COVID was growing without any intervention until Friday night. So and the reason I say that because Saturday, even last Sunday, I did my vlog last Sunday, but I could I was actually so much better because okay, so she prescribed the medication. Not everyone carries it. It's very limited. She had to, she had to go online and find where there were doses in my area. She found right in Harvard Square, the CVS in Harvard Square, and then I had to. But since I had COVID, I couldn't go get the medication, so I had to poke around, and my neighbor went for me, and I started the medication right away. Thank God, because on Saturday, I felt like someone was searing, burning pain in my chest. And from everything that I've read about COVID, it was growing in my lungs and all of what was happening. And I had had at that point a dose of medication on Friday night and one on Saturday morning. And that was enough because on Saturday I slept for 14 hours. I couldn't barely move. The pain was excruciating and I could barely breathe. And I was thinking to myself, should I go to the hospital? But if I go to the hospital, then, you know, that was not a viable solution. So I took the evening dose of the medication and slept through the night. And on Sunday morning, I was better. I could feel the viral load decreasing instead of increasing. So this week has been a turning point in my life. It's, I mean, what I haven't said yet is that this was the week I was supposed to be on vacation. I was doing a 1 week retreat with a dear friend and neighbor of mine, Nina Manelson. She gives retreats on body peace, learning to love and accept your body. And I had scheduled to go on this retreat last year, so I had planned for it for almost 6 or 8 months, and so during the week, you know, I always feel that everything happens for a reason. Number three, everything happens for a reason, and being able to delve into all week. Mostly I was in bed. Mostly I was hacking cough, and the fever diminished, and I was getting better day by day. I'm still sick, but I'm much, much, much better, and I can see a light at the end of the tunnel. But I had this ongoing conversation with my body all week, and dealing with lipedema and lymphedema and all of what we all deal with day in and day out is such a journey. And adding to that, what is in essence, um, you know, COVID could be life-threatening, and it has been for many others. It was a wake-up call. It was just a wake-up call. I've been working on this project, the Real You Project, about loving yourself, befriending your body. Let me read the quote I read all the time. And I said to my body softly, I want to be your friend. It took a long breath and replied, I have been waiting my whole life for this. I'm going to read it again. And I said to my body softly, I want to be your friend. And it took a long breath and replied, I have been waiting my whole life for this. And as I was struggling, even on last Saturday, to breathe and thinking of, what is it in the relationship, the core relationship, possibly the most important relationship of my life, is my relationship with myself and with my body. And at the end of the day, first of all, thank you. I got so many emails and well wishes, and so many people reached out. I so appreciate it. And yet, at the end of the day, it's always each one of us with ourselves. And it was me with me. And I felt like that was the battle, that was the struggle that I've been in for my entire life. What would it be like to just let go and trust my body? To so, you know, each message for me today in my reflections is about trust. It's about trusting that inner feeling when I get it. It's about trusting what the universe is providing. It's about trusting my body. So I invite you to just, reflect along with me about the many things that our bodies do for us. And somehow, through very, very rocky road this past 10 or 12 days, actually, it's 2 weeks, really, my body is healing. Now, thank God for the medication. Thank God for a primary care. Thank God for lots of support. Thank God for chicken soup. So, chicken soup really helps. But at the end of the day, it's me with me. And that's the turning point. The whole, when I started the Real You Project, well, what always happens is whenever I start anything new, I have to live it. It has to get into my cells. I have to live it. I have to breathe it. I have to, what they used to say in the 60s, grok it. You become so entwined on it. So um, it's so amazing how, at the very core, that my body is my friend. And that's the turning point this week. I missed an amazing vacation, in Florida. But the vacation that I had, a friend of mine called it a staycation. You're getting a staycation courtesy of COVID. But having that and having the incredible inner journey, which is really what everything is about anyway, whether I did it in Florida or whether I did it here in Boston, it's that inner journey of self love and self acceptance. So the journey continues, and I finally got around to making a because I had so much time and so much sleep. I finally made a banner, so it says, "Wow, what a ride!" because truly it is an incredible journey. And I'm so glad you're on it with me. And thank you for all of your well wishes and love. And together, it really is the real you, the real me, the real us. So have a really wonderful week. Have a blessed